You've received the clarity. You are dedicating yourself to making changes in your life. You're creating momentum. You move forward and you feel like so satisfied, and you're finally getting to the place that you want to be. And then reality hits you in the face. Something creates an obstacle and you feel like you take a step back. You pick yourself back up again. You move forward even further on a higher height, and you feel like, oh, this is the time, I got it. And then something else hits you and you fall right flat on your face, and you feel like you've taken 3 steps back. And this cycle keeps repeating itself, and you may start to feel hopeless and like maybe you're on the wrong path. Maybe this isn't meant for you. But this is a message of clarity and reassurance as you are on the right path. When you are someone that is completely devoting themselves and their life to being of service to a greater cause for the greater good, and being a vessel for God to work through to help the planet and help humanity, and you are dedicated to your healing, that is the purest of intentions that you can possibly have. And even when you get to those moments where you feel like you're just being knocked back on your face and falling over and over again and taking steps back, even though you're putting in so much time, effort, and energy to move forward and are doing all of the right things, you feel, that actually serves as perfect evidence and reflection that you are on the right path. Because when you are truly healing, you come face to face with your shadows and with the things that want to hold you back most. The same forces that have held you back in the past, but this time it's different. You have shifted and you are no longer going to let that back. There's a fire inside of you, rumbling, ready to propel you towards your most authentic form of expression that you came here to offer, towards the piece of the puzzle of the solution that you came here to share. Don't lose faith. Know that when you are truly healing, it means that all of the murky energy, the distortions, the reversals, everything that was never a part of your organic divine template and blueprint will come up to be purged. It's just like when you're sick, and you have to throw up and your stomach hurts and it's so uncomfortable, and the only way that you can fully let go of those toxins is to purge it out. It's the exact same thing, except the purging process with healing, it looks different for all of us. And the goal is to keep going even when it gets hard, knowing that that dream you have to serve humanity in whatever way it looks for you, it is so worth it. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is that those who make it keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep staying in tune and in touch with their vision, even when they fail and fall flat on their face. I put fail in air quotations because there is truly no such thing as failure. Failure is really redirection. It is God's source, the universe reflecting back to you where there might need to be refinement. And sometimes when we try to do something and it doesn't work out the way that we want it to, sometimes that can be such a blessing because it was never meant for us. And other times when that happens, it's maybe we are not approaching it in the way that's most aligned for us. Maybe we are not approaching it with a strong enough foundation. Maybe we are being invited to go in deeper and come back to a point of stillness so we can fully listen to our higher self identity, our soul, our oversoul, our avatar, our rishi, our higher Christic counterparts that are watching our smaller self here in the 3D that we are a part of, but that have no cosmic amnesia, that know exactly what it is that you need for your soul curriculum to get to the point where you are fully able to embody your dharma, your soul purpose, and express it in whatever way it looks like for you. Maybe for some of you, it looks like expressing it on a world stage in front of hundreds of thousands, millions, billions. Whereas for others, it's expressing it with nature where there's no people around. Or for others, it might just be expressing it with one or two people. Regardless of what it looks like, no one's sole purpose is better or worse than anyone else's. This message is to remind you that just because you feel you have failed, or just because you feel you keep taking a step backwards each time you try to move forward, it doesn't mean that you should give up. The moment you give up is the moment you re-enter into stagnancy, and that you are giving your power away. But when you take the reins and take control of yourself through surrendering to that you cannot control, and through allowing yourself to enter into the state of flow, right? Entering into flow through surrendering and trusting is a process. And I know for me, each time I have felt I have gotten there, there have been obstacles that have come up that have taught me to surrender deeper, to help me let go more, so I learn more about what true surrendering is. And I'm still learning what it is, you know? I don't know if anyone truly fully knows what it means to surrender, because it's such a deep concept. But the more that we can listen, and the more that we are able to change our perspective and shift, that each time we fail and are being redirected, it serves as a greater opportunity for growth, for healing, for fulfillment, for joy. We are truly able to rise up and experience greater heights. Another thing that's coming through is, if you find yourself in a space where you might feel or think that once you get to a certain point, once you get that new car or that new house or whatever it is that you think that you want, and you think that that will make you happy, news alert, it's a trap. Anytime that we feel something outside of us will help fill a void or an emptiness we feel within, it's a trap. There are so many people that have worked their asses off to get somewhere that they think that they really want to get to, or to get something that they think that they really want. And by the time they get it, they end up feeling that void, that emptiness even deeper, because it's almost like a slap in the face, a gentle slap in the face that might be harder for some than others, of like, hey, newsflash, this is not how you feel fulfillment. Feeling fulfillment and a sense of wholeness comes from within. And that's why it is extra important for us to take time to come into stillness, to connect with nature, to sit with all parts of ourselves, not becoming too attached to the light parts or the dark parts, but instead surrendering to all parts, learning to listen to our higher self, to God, our highest self, and knowing that we can only truly take the most aligned action after we have come into that state of stillness and learn to listen. Oftentimes when we keep trying to take action and do something and it keeps not working out, it's an invitation from God's source to sit in stillness, to really go within, so that we have that crystal clear vision of what it is that we need to do. And we are approaching it from a place of wholeness, from a place of fullness, instead of feeling like, oh, I'm in a lack and I'm seeking for something outside of me to make me feel abundant and whole. No, we are abundant. There have been people that have literally nothing externally, that are homeless, and some of the happiest people are like that, right? Because they know that true abundance is from within. And there are also some people that are multimillionaires, billionaires, and they are some of the most unhappiest people that you would ever meet, because they don't know what true abundance feels like, and they are just constantly trying to get more, thinking it'll fill that gap. So the invitation is to be gentle with yourself, to love yourself, to honor where you are, and not feel like you have to rush the process in hopes of feeling that emptiness you feel, by thinking that once you get to that dream goal, that dream life that you're seeking, that you will feel whole and everything will be okay, because it's a trap. And to instead go inwards. Feel into where that emptiness is, where that void is. Is it in your heart? Is it in your womb? Is it in your head? Is it in your arm? Because our body, we are 80% made of water, and water holds memories. So whether you believe it or not, we are multidimensional beings. We are simultaneously living in other lifetimes as time and space is happening simultaneously. Linear time that we experience here is an illusion. And so maybe you're experiencing something very traumatic in another lifetime, and that is the root of where you started to feel this void. And it's been manifesting in this lifetime because you never healed it from that lifetime, and maybe something triggered it to reopen in this lifetime, and it's a memory lodged in your arm. And we don't start to learn these things until we start to learn the language of the body, learn the language of listening, which is a process that unfolds differently for everyone. But we can only get to that point when we learn to slow down, to enter that flow, knowing that there is no rush, right? It's just like that story with the hare, the tortoise and the hare, where it's slow and steady wins the race, but it's not even about a race. The only person you can compare yourself to is yourself. As soon as you compare yourself to someone else, it's a trap. And it takes a lot of practice to shed that programming, because in school, we're taught to compare ourselves to our peers and to seek our teachers' approval, seek our parents' approval, seek external approval to feel fulfilled within. So it's something we gotta unlearn to relearn the fact that we are whole to begin with. I love you. You're doing an amazing job from your being. You are so strong for being here on earth at this time. Feel into your heart. Feel the love that is always there. Open your heart again with discernment. You don't have to necessarily just let everyone and everything in, but open yourself enough so that you can feel God. You can feel the interconnectedness of all things. When I say God, I am not referring to religion. I'm referring to the consciousness of God's source that created all of this, that we are all fractals of and a part of. We are all spirits having a human experience. So let's make the most of it. If you feel that you need support on this journey, I have several spaces opening up in my containers, in my spiritual life coaching packages. My website is linked below. If you are interested in learning more, we can hop on a free discovery call for about 30 to 60 minutes, however it flows. I have packages where we work in one sitting, and others where we work for up to 3 months together. And we explore where you're at, what your goals are, and if you are someone who has always felt different and feel like you came here to serve humanity, but don't know how to do it and don't know how to feel comfortable in your body, and are seeking to find tools and to create your own personal tool belt to navigate the highs and lows of the journey better, there is an offering specifically for you. And if you are someone that already has that tool belt but are seeking to move forward and remember more about that specific offering, your specialized piece of the puzzle that you came here to offer as a star being that is here on earth to help, there is another offer specifically for you. I love you, I honor you, and I respect you so much as you are. This is a safe space. Take care.